Israel took over 50,000 spy photos and dropped 18,000 bombs on Iran. So how did Tehran's missiles still punch through and strike Israel's most critical air power hubs? Was Israel's most ferocious military campaign ever against Iran designed not just to cripple Tehran, but also to shock the United States and Europe with its unprecedented scale? After watching Iran from space more than 50,000 times and launching a relentless air assault, did Israel go all out in an attempt to wipe out Tehran's military capabilities once and for all? Israel dropped 5 times more bombs than in its previous major war efforts. So how did Iran still manage to find and exploit the Achilles heel of Israel's defense network? Israeli satellites captured over 50,000 images of Iran during Operation Roaring Lion, providing an unprecedented volume of reconnaissance photos that informed military planning and battlefield decisions throughout the campaign. According to the Jerusalem Post, Israel averaged more than 1,000 satellite photos per day throughout the war, a relentless tempo of imagery collection that allowed analysts to track movements and damage in near real time. The 50,000 images far exceeded the 12,000 photos taken during the 2025 Iran war, demonstrating a dramatic increase in surveillance intensity and the scale of the current intelligence effort. Israel's satellites monitored Iran day and night across vast areas of territory, maintaining continuous observation to detect activity any hour and across a wide geographic footprint. The imaging campaign covered hundreds of millions of square kilometers of Iran, sweeping over enormous stretches of land to build a comprehensive visual record of strategic sites and troop movements. Notably, the IDF dropped 18,000 bombs on Iran over the course of 38 days, a concentrated bombardment that reflected the scale and intensity of the aerial campaign. Israel conducted around 1,000 airstrike waves during the operation, launching repeated coordinated attacks that aimed to degrade enemy capabilities across multiple fronts. Israeli aircraft flew about 8,500 sorties to support the bombing campaign, an extensive operational effort involving thousands of missions to maintain pressure and deliver ordnance where needed. The operation included approximately 10,800 attacks across Iran, a staggering number that reflected a sustained and coordinated effort to strike targets throughout the country over an extended period. Israel targeted nearly 4,000 separate sites during the war, selecting a wide array of installations and facilities to disrupt enemy capabilities and degrade critical infrastructure. Those targets contained around 6,700 key components identified for strikes, each representing specific systems or assets singled out by intelligence as high-value or mission-critical. Many targets were large military complexes with multiple structures to hit, meaning individual strikes often had to be planned against several buildings, support facilities, and hardened positions within a single compound. The bombing campaign maintained a high tempo from mid-March until the end, with operations continuing relentlessly to sustain pressure and prevent the enemy from regrouping or restoring damaged capabilities. In the war's opening days, Israel and the US struck about 1,000 targets daily, conducting intense, coordinated strikes that aimed to overwhelm defenses and achieve rapid operational effects. The scale of the operation made it one of Israel's largest aerial campaigns, combining unprecedented sortie rates, extensive targeting, and vast logistical support to carry out a campaign of exceptional scope. As Israel's war in Lebanon deepened, Iran responded by unleashing missiles on several of the country's key air force hubs, widening the confrontation far beyond the immediate front. Military Watch reported that Iran fired multiple missile salvos on June 7 and June 8, suggesting a coordinated operation rather than a single symbolic launch. The IRGC framed the strikes as a warning to Israel over its actions in Lebanon, casting them as a direct response to ongoing operations north of the border. Tehran claimed that the operation was aimed at Israeli military facilities across the country, signaling that no single base would be considered off-limits in a wider clash. The reported strikes focused on Ramat David, Nevatim, and Tel Naf air bases in northern and central Israel, 3 pillars of the Israeli Air Force's day-to-day operations. Tehran repeatedly described the bombardment as a warning over Israeli military operations in Lebanon, hinting that a much heavier response could follow if its red lines were ignored. Ramat David serves as the Israeli Air Force's key northern hub, launching sorties against targets across the Lebanon theater and anchoring air coverage along that front. The base reportedly hosts 3 frontline F-16 squadrons, making it one of the densest concentrations of Israeli combat power anywhere in the country. Analysts warn that successful strikes on Ramat David could threaten aircraft on the ground and severely disrupt flight operations at a critical moment in the war. Ramat David lies in northern Israel, just a short flight from the Lebanon front, positioning it on the first line of any northern escalation. It acts as a major hub for air operations targeting Lebanon, with jets routinely cycling in and out on missions across the border. The base hosts 3 frontline F-16 fighter squadrons, giving it substantial strike capacity at any given time. Among them is Squadron 101, the historic 1st Fighter Squadron, one of the most storied units in Israeli aviation history. It is also home to Squadron 105, known as the Scorpion, which has played key roles in past conflicts. Squadron 109, the Valley, rounds out the trio, adding further depth to the base's combat roster. Taken together, these squadrons represent more than 1/3 of Israel's active F-16 fleet, underscoring how vital the base is to overall air strength. Nevatim is widely considered Israel's most strategic air base, central to its long-range strike and deterrence posture. It hosts the entire Israeli F-35 fleet, the country's most advanced stealth fighters and key to any deep strike plan. From Nevatim, Israel can project air power across the wider region, supporting long-range operations well beyond its borders. The base also houses G-550 early warning aircraft, which act as flying radar platforms to control the air battle. New KC-46 aerial refueling tankers are based there as well, extending the range and endurance of Israel's fighters. Together, these assets make Nevatim a critical force multiplier, amplifying the reach and lethality of the entire Israeli Air Force. Nevatim also functions as a key node for command, control and support missions, tying many of Israel's air operations together. Tel Naf is another major Israeli Air Force installation, long embedded in the country's core defense architecture. It sits south of Tel Aviv, close enough to protect the country's central heartland while still projecting power outward. The base hosts several fighter squadrons, providing additional strike and air defense capacity when crises erupt. It is also home to military helicopter units, including platforms used for transport, special forces and rescue missions. Tel Naf supports vital logistics and command functions, making it more than just a launchpad for aircraft. For any adversary, Tel Naf would be considered a high-value target due to the mix of assets and command infrastructure on site. Its role is crucial to sustaining prolonged air operations, keeping sorties flowing even during extended campaigns. New analysis suggests that roughly 8 out of 10 Iranian missiles fired in recent salvos have reached Israeli airspace, highlighting how much pressure defenses are now under. Months of sustained combat have depleted both Israeli and U.S. anti-ballistic missile stockpiles across the region, raising questions about how long high-intensity interception can be maintained. Iran and its allies have also attacked and damaged key U.S.-linked radar sites that once formed a regional early warning net, creating potential gaps in the shared air defense picture. Newer Iranian missiles are being fielded with multiple warheads, maneuvering re-entry vehicles and even hypersonic-style gliders, all designed to make interception harder and strain Israeli systems further.